Welcome, my friends, to the 10 incredible Galaxy 2 participants of the Stellaris Grand AI Tournament. Participation is still open, just share your empire in the comments below. This is Immanuel Khan, and let's show the contestants of the battle. Number 1, we have the warlike foxes of the Wolfin pack of Awuda. They are a martial dictatorship with a nationalistic zeal and warrior culture. They're fanatic militarists and spiritualists. They're strong, industrious, and wasteful, so their strategy is probably overwhelm others with their army and their fleet, of course. So, what's their story? The Wolfins were once a primitive pack hunter race. The highest cause of death was either be eaten by larger prey or starvation. Over time, the Wolfins grew smarter and learned how to fight back those larger prey and become better hunters. Soon as their packs grew larger, their predators becomes the prey. They learned how to use tools such as spears and arrows and setting up traps. Mixed with their super sense of smell, hearing, great speed and strength and intelligence, they became the best hunters on the planet. As their packs grew larger and larger, they started to encounter one another. It is known as the Age of Encountering. Most of the time, it ended up in bloodshed due to their bloodless nature, fighting one another for territory. There have been a few occasions when packs learn to coexist with one another, sometimes even hunting with each other and trading. As the Wolfins grew smarter and smarter, they learned how to farm, growing protein-rich fruits and vegetables and domesticating animals. They made their way open on the path of civilization and finally went to the stars. That was done by the glorious Gado. Number 2 is the Wolfin Republic of Rasca. Basically the good twins of the Wolfins of Awuda. They're a rational consensus democratic. They have a technocracy with more science directors and researchers producing unity. They have a meritocracy with better leaders. They are fanatic egalitarians, so they gain a lot more influence through factions and have better specialist output, so it's really cool. It all fits together. They are also materialist, so they can be really good researchers. They're also strong and natural engineers, so they know how to put stuff together. They're repugnant though and solitary, but industrious, and this gives them more minerals, which is very important in the new patch. Also from Gado, Awuda, because they are also from Awuda, was once a beautiful and a dangerous world. Many different forests and jungles, but thanks to constant warfare and their greedy nature, it turned into an arid wasteland. Resources are scarce, pollution is high, and the planet is overpopulated with over 12 billion souls. Tensions are rising among the most powerful Wolfin clans, and we fought so hard to suppress our bloodlust nature. Time was running out. Global nuclear war was on the horizon. As many scientists of the world trying to figure out how to save themselves, many of their political allies were delaying the inevitable. One scientist named Rasca has figured out a way to open subspace wormholes. Scientists were baffled and amazed by this discovery, first sending radio signals from the science lab to the moon base instantaneously. Next objects. At first it was failure, coming out as mush, but after a few tweakings and calculations, they successfully sent objects without turning it into mush. Then it got bigger and bigger and bigger. Years and years passed. And finally, interstellar travel and the first steps into space lay before the Wolfin Republic of Rasca. 3. The remnants of the Wen, a democratic assembly of clans with a syncretic evolution leading from normal humanoids of the Wen to the Elven. They have also a warrior culture. They're egalitarian for more influence, specialist output. They're xenophile of course, going hand in hand with the syncretic evolution, and they are militarists going hand in hand with warrior culture. They're also talented, sedentary though, enduring and resilient, so very tough humanoids these are. And what will they do? What would be their strategy? I see it as a mixed strategy between xenophilia, treaties, and war. So what's their story? The story of the Elven of Diasaron. Centuries ago, the ring world of Chiron served as a base of operations for the Ven Order. They tasked themselves as interdimensional peacekeepers operating on worlds where the people, not their leaders, permitted it. They were made up of many species, human, elven, and many others. They made efforts to set up developing worlds across the universes to be more egalitarian, including a universe where there was an Earth with the kingdom of Vizcaya Casti, who wrongly called them the people of Cyrone, and named their nation Cyronia. Eventually, after a great disaster, the ring world was lost, and the interdimensional portal technology was also lost. The Ven were forced to take up shop in a local colony of theirs, and an empty planet that would become their new home. It's been over a century, and the Ven are ready to police the galaxy once more by Annihilator Q. On number 4 we have the freaky parasites. Look at that. It's the epitome of evil. Still, they've got a heart. They're a theocratic dictatorship in a post-apocalyptic world, giving them the survivor trait for more years of life, and tomb world habitability plus 70%, and they have mining guilds. Minerals from miners plus 1, very nice. A xenophile militarist and spiritualist, which makes for a really good combination of war and federation. So they're not only survivors, but they're also adaptive, which makes them easy to expand. They're ingenious, giving us more energy credits, and they're quick learners, having their leaders adapt well and quick to the circumstances. They're repugnant though, and fleeting, so they might have problems in that case with the amenities. Disgusting creatures, known by many as parasites. These creatures attempt to befriend anyone they meet, but their methods and culture make it seem like they're trying to kill anything they see. By Annihilator Q art. Then we have the real over-the-top technocrats with number 5, the Sutherian technocracy. It is all well designed. Look, even the colors fit. A science directorate, an oligarchic one. Mechanists with a technocracy, so already in there with robots. Robot upkeep goes down, and a technocracy with more unity, more science directors, all the things. They're egalitarian and a fanatic materialist, which brings the robot upkeep even more down and speeds up the research even more. They're ingenious, giving us more energy credits from jobs, also supporting their robots. Thrifty as well, increases the trade value very powerful now. They are a little bit weak though, so they will use their robots to compensate for that. And they are also wasteful, but okay, robots will take over sooner or later. So this is from Iron Spirit, from the Paradox Forum. Strategy. He has actually not played this empire in 2-2, but you either attack that research tree and go extremely tall, or play a more flexible game where you do a little bit of everything. You probably don't want to play this empire, though, until synthetic ascension is fixed, but we'll see how the AI handles that, because it's a really good tech empire of Sutheria. So it will be interesting to see how these research pros make it. Then we have more space foxes, the Sibian Commonwealth, by another Russian friend from YouTube. The strategy would be military and economical dominance through better resource acquisition. Let's look at that. They are a military dictatorship with mining guilds, so getting more minerals. They have functional architecture, so less cost for the buildings and districts. They're authoritarian, giving them a little bit more influence on worker output. So there's going to be the resources coming in, the minerals that are so important, especially later on and in the early game, and in the middle also as well. The fanatic militarists, which will help them with claiming influence cost and ship fire rate, which is, yeah, basically the fundamental strategy for war. They're industrious, giving even more minerals, but fleeting. So their leaders not going to live very long. It's only going to affect them at the beginning, I think, though. And they are strong, so even more worker output. These guys will get a lot of minerals and will be able to expand flexibly into space. So let's see how they fare in this game of galaxies. Then finally in Megacorp we have the Crimson Corporation. Very well designed and cool looking with their central trade work. We have that mega corporation that has indentured assets, so basically slaves that are not slaves. They have slave output increased and an enslaved pop ratio of 40%, large indentured workforce and ruthless competition, so they get better leaders and leader experience gain. They're also authoritarian, which is in line with indentured assets. They're fanatic materialist, which gives them an edge in researching. They're decadent though, so they will need these indentured assets and maybe some robots coming from the materialist side. They're thrifty, giving more trade value from jobs, which will be really nice in this expansion. They're traditional, getting more unity, so getting these trees earlier on. What is their story? The story of the Druge. You have arrived at the central trade world of the Crimson Corporation. Be welcome and take advantage of our excellent deals. Number 8, when you talk about rocks, you also talk about rock breakers, even more minerals. Minerals, that's a pattern in this galaxy. So, they get more minerals from their miners. They got zero waste protocol, so they pay less upkeep, which is also good. Well, and they got power drills and are a little bit bulky. So it's basically a straightforward thing. Straightforward, more minerals than others. And that's it. It's super simple. And because of that, the Confederacy of Independent Systems, Roger, might be one of the top contestants there. I could be wrong. I mean, I could be wrong, but because machine empires are really not the top right now, but you never know with this. It's so simple. The AI might just use it very well. We'll see about that. Further on, we have the Central Construction Unit that was already in the first tournament, like with the Wolfins of Awuda and Rasca and all of that, but these guys actually were pretty strong contestants until right at the end. They are an industrial production core with constructor bots, which means their build cost and upkeep for all buildings and districts goes down by 10%. They're also rock breakers. Again, more minerals. They come from the origin world, by the way. I don't know if they make video games. They have power drills for even more minerals. There's a pattern, right? They are durable, less upkeep. They have repurposed hardware, so their leaders are a little bit slow to change. And they are bulky. They're using more housing. And what is their story? By Paradox von Wegen. A relic from the Milky Way. One of the arcs crash-landed on a nearby uninhabitable planet. The central AI aboard the ship reprogrammed its construction drones to efficiently assemble emergency shelters and resource extractors. But the last human died soon, and the AI, consumed by its own directive to keep constructing buildings and improving an industrial basis that no organic being would ever make use of, went to the stars again. And let's see what the last contestant is now. Last, we have the Accident Sentience, also an industrial production core. With rock breakers, more minerals, and constructor bots, less costs. Build costs for buildings and upkeep for buildings, and build costs for district, upkeep for districts, all reduced by 10%. They also have the power drills for even more minerals. They're durable, so less upkeep to pay for. Double jointed, less pop housing usage. So more fit onto one planet, but they are luxurious. Their assembly cost is a lot higher, and they're custom made. Their assembly speed is also a lot slower, so they may be a little bit slow to start, but when they get going, they will never have a shortage of minerals. Strategy: strong sustainable expansion through superior mineral income and less maintenance cost. No one knows what happened, but the Accident Sentients are what is left of life in a devastated desert world. Some animals, bacteria, sure, that is left, but no trace of intelligent life. Not even relatives, pre-sentients. It seems like they had assembled themselves just like a ragamuffin. These were all the contestants of Galaxy number 2 of the Stellaris Grand AI Tournament. Participation is still open. You can still participate until the next patch and become a master of the galaxies. Other than that, I wish you a lot of fun. I will be starting the actual Galaxy playout soon, and then I'll have to do a lot of cutting again, and we'll arrive at the result in, I hope, 2 weeks. So let's hope I don't get any white smoke anymore from my computer. Pray for that. And then we might be done even quicker. So have a great time until next time, and happy gaming. This is Immanuel Khan signing out, my friends.